Campaign is in full swing, and that means we got plenty of things to fall back on. And we have two special guests right now, Professor Jason Johnson, an MSNBC analyst who we love so much, he even anchors The Beat sometimes, also hosts the Slate podcast, A Word with Jason Johnson. And today, making his Beat debut, an absolute chart-topping legend, saxophonist Kenny G. Very few artists ever top 10 million records sold. Mazel tov. Kenny G, though, is in the rare air of selling 75 million records worldwide. Amen to that, which puts him in the pantheon of Nirvana and Bob Marley for global sales. He is one of the best-selling artists of all time and one of the most celebrated saxophonists in world history.
You were once a brave warrior in the tribe of Long Locksmen, which is a thing.
The hits go on. What a life still being lived. And the autobiography is, fittingly, Life in the Key of G. Jason and Kenny G, great to have you here.
Thank you.
I could not be happier. I just had to say, that when I came. I'm feeling good.
Did you guys coordinate the looks?
This is an honor. This is an honor.
Look at that.
Kenny G in part. I was like, I'm going to have just the blazer and the open shirt.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Kenny brought his instrument, which is beautiful.
Yes.
Your instrument, we know this, and I know you well, so I can say this. You brought it as well. It is your mouth.
It is my mouth
and your brain.
Yes.
And so I'll let you start, since you're home court advantage. What's on your fallback list, Jason?
My first fallback is this new deal with Lionsgate and Runway Films. So basically, Runway is one of those AI companies. They're linking up with Lionsgate, and they're now going to get access to all of Lionsgate's films. So that's their John Wicks, that's everything from Dirty Dancing, that's movies like Hunger Games, and basically steal artists' creative work to make new AI content. We have to fight against this. Artists like Kenny G, artists all over the world have their work taken every day by AI and turned into something else for these companies. I need them to fall back, respect artists, respect the creative process.
Makes sense to me, and it's kind of a theme here because, Kenny, I know you want to talk about some of this as well on your fallback list. And AI, while it could be great, we did a piece about how the screening of cancer and mammograms has been improved, right? Which has human doctors using this as a tool to then help human patients.
Right.
What Jason's describing and what people are concerned about is the other side of this, sort of the robots running rampant and stealing human work and creativity. Your thoughts?
Well, it's the same thing. I don't know if I can say it better than Jason, but when AI is going to take the sound of somebody,
yes,
their voice, hopefully not my saxophone, and then create a whole new piece of music or a library of music, it's not fair. I mean, I've spent 50 years practicing this thing. For somebody to just be able to, somebody or something, to take my sound and then create a song that sounds beautiful. It's going to sound great. I don't like it. I don't think it's fair. If we can use it to help create things, that's great. But for it to create it, it's not good.
You know, one of your recent guests, LL Cool J, right?
Yeah.
To paraphrase, I remember the first time I saw The Legend in Leather, right? I want to hear LL reinterpret his music. I want to hear Kenny G play his songs, learn new things as an artist. I don't want to hear AI programs, somebody sitting in a lab somewhere, taking what he's worked on, what anybody has worked on, and turning it into something new. It takes something away from us as human beings. Right. And part of what inspires us as non-artists is seeing the work that people put into it so that we can create our own.
Yeah, and I'm not here to hold you accountable. We do that all week with politicians.
Oh, good.
But you did abandon your piano lessons when you were young.
I did, yes.
You did?
Yes, because I didn't like it.
Yeah, didn't like it. It all worked out. So
right.
We only know this because of the great stories you tell in the book.
Oh, thank you.
I'll read a little bit from that and you tell us about it. You said, my love of the saxophone started in the 60s. I was watching TV with my mom and saw a sax player on the Ed Sullivan Show. I thought the sax looked like the coolest thing I'd ever seen. I turned to my mom. I said, hey, I'd like to play that instrument. My mom said, well, we're not going to buy you one, that's for sure. We'll rent it because you might quit like you did piano. Right, and on that sour note, a lifetime of sweeter ones was born.
Right. It's true. That is true. My mom was a little skeptical that I would not stick with it, but I tell you, the second I got that saxophone, I put it together. It was not a soprano like this. By the way, this is my high school sax. This is it. This is the one that played with Barry White in the 70s. Yeah, this is the sax. But I put the sax together and I never looked back. I took it into the bathroom.
Yeah, didn't
and
like
I
it.
practiced in the mirror with all the hard surfaces. Like a room like this, it sounds good in here. See, it's a beautiful sound in here, like a bathroom.
All right, let me give you a quick challenge. Can you give us any soundscape that would work for a big nerd like Jason? Something that feels comic book, literature. It's not untrue.
Oh, yeah, no, John Williams, anything.
Something
any of
in
that
the
stuff.
vibe of, because he loves the comics, he loves the nerd stories.
He needs a theme song for himself.
Oh, I
Theme
would love
song
that.
or a video game vibe, anything that comes to your mind.
It would be two-part for him. It would be a part that would go. And then it would be. Because he's a nerd, but he's also got soul.
I mean, the second part, I was going to say, are you that swaggy? I don't know.
I underneath it all.
right-
I can't
in the right
keep it hidden
moment.
on the air, but yeah, in the right moment.
The other question for the book, and I'll show our viewers life in the key of G.
Thank you.
And the G, in different worlds, it can mean different things. When we say OG, it means original gangster.
Oh,
I
didn't know that.
If I say to Jason, man, like, with this politics thing, you're like the G of politics, right?
Oh.
It doesn't mean he's a literal gangster like a Corleone.
Right.
But he might be a politics G.
Oh.
Have you ever had anyone ask if that's the kind of G that the G is in Kenny G?
No, just look at me. They go, what is it, Goldstein? That's close.
Last question is, because your work is instrumental, we've always in this show talked to people about how music can unite, but language is still a barrier. As an instrumental, basically someone who's captured basically every region potentially, what's been the most interesting place or the most exciting place for you to play?
Well, the most interesting is Asia. One of my songs is huge in China. One of my melodies tells people that it's the end of the day and it's time to go home. The song is called Going Home. They took it literally, and every day at 5 o'clock, it's played everywhere. Like today in China, probably 500 million people have heard my song Going Home, and they hear it and they go, oh, time to go home, and they go home.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. It's Life in the Key of G is the book. Kenny G and Jason J.
Jason J.
Jason J.
Original G in my own
With
way.
a new theme song.
With a new theme song.
Has a ring to it.